Hello everyone. Welcome to the logical reasoning discussion of Mark 4. So in this video, first let's look at all the sets. Let's analyze them. Okay, let's see the level of difficulty of each set, and then we'll solve all the sets. Clear? Now, coming to the first set. So in this question, a company ABC Limited owns three garages A, B, and C, which provide three special types of quick services to the customer's vehicle in 3, 6, and 11 minutes. Okay, so you have three garages, garage A, B, and C. So these three garages provides three types of services. Okay, the first type of service takes 3 minutes, second one takes 6, and third one takes 11 minutes. And we are given with some rules. The first rule: if the customers are present, no garage is left free. Now, if you have when you all the three garages are empty or are vacant, and you have any customer going to company ABC Limited, then he will be assigned to one of these three garages. No garage is left free when a customer is present. Now, one garage can service only one vehicle at a time. You cannot have two vehicles being serviced at any of these three garages. Not possible. Now, customer can choose any type of service. So there are three types of service. So he can choose any type of service, and all the three garages are competent for providing all three kinds of services. So all these three garages can provide the three services. Now, the table below shows some of the vehicles in a day with the in time as well as the service start time, garage allotted, and the time taken for service. Now, some values are missing. So, we are given with the tabular data in which some of the values are missing. Now, first understand the data given in this table. So, we have a vehicle entering at 9 o'clock and the service started at 9 o'clock. And garage A. So I can say that garage A is free at 9 o'clock, and same for B as well as C. Okay, so three vehicles entered at 9 o'clock. Okay, all the three garages were free at 9 o'clock. So all these three vehicles were allotted garage A, B, and C. Now coming to fourth vehicle. So fourth vehicle entered at 9:05 and the service started at 9:05. So this means that at 9:05, at least one of these three garages is free. Now, same for fifth vehicle. The vehicle entered at 9:07. The service started at 9:07. So exactly at 9:07, the garage is free. Now, whereas if you look at vehicle 8 and vehicle 9 and vehicle 10, so the vehicle entered at 9:12. The service started at 9:13. So from 9:12, between 9:12 and 9:13, all the three garages were not vacant, or they are having they're servicing vehicles from 9:12 to 9:13. Same here. Between 9:16 and 9:17, all the three garages were full. And same for between 9:17 and 9:19. Isn't it? Okay. So this is a missing tabular graph with puzzles. In this has an indirect application of puzzles. Okay, so I'm sure that you'll be having more than at least more than one case for sure. So you need to identify that which vehicle went to which garage depending on the time taken, and you need to fill the table completely. So this is my analysis just by looking at the question. Okay, now if the remaining questions are difficult, I will be attempting this question for sure because I have an idea like what has to be done to solve this question. Okay, whether should we start this question with this set or not depends on the remaining questions. Okay, so I have an idea how to solve this question. So I'm 90% confident about getting this right. Okay, now coming to the second set. In a baseball game, there are 5 couples such that we have 5 men A, B, C, D, E, and 5 women F, G, H, I, J. They occupy a row of 10 seats. Okay, so the men are in the odd number seats starting from the odd number seats, and the women are in the even number seats. Now starting from the left, each woman sits to the right of a man she is dating. So you have 10 positions. Okay, so the places numbered 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 were occupied by men. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 were occupied by women, and we are given with a set of statements. Okay, and you were asked 4 questions based on the given data. Now, if I observe question number 6, G's date may be. So you do not have a definite value, definite person here. So this tells me that this is an open set. An open set from arrangements. Clear? So arrangements is the first topic that we discuss in the logical reasoning section. So any question from arrangements can be solved only if you identify the starting statement and the order of the statements that you need to consider it. So between 1 and 2, I will be attempting this question first, isn't it? Okay. So if I have to compare set 1 and set 2, I consider set 2 is easy when compared to set 1. So I will be attempting this question first. So you have 4 questions, that means 12 marks. Okay. Now coming to the next set. So in this set, we have 5 students in a class. They are ranked in order of the performance in sports from the best sportsman to the worst, and in the order of their marks from the best scorer to the worst. So you are rating these 5 students in 2 parameters, their performance in sports and their marks. Now we are given that no 2 students can get the same rank in any parameter. B plays better than A in the comparison. And you are asked 3 questions based on this set. Isn't it? This is also an application of arrangements, isn't it? Okay, and you're asked 3 questions based on this set. So set 2 and set 3 are almost are same. Okay, so I can first attempt set 2 and come to set 3, or after attempting this set, I can go to previous set. And I can say that these 2 sets should be the doable sets in this paper as of now. Okay, so I'll make sure that I will be attempting these 2 sets for sure. Okay, now moving to the next set. So here, the profitability of a company is defined as ratio of operating profit to its operating income. So we are given with what is profitability. Operating profit by operating income. Okay. Typically expressed in percentage. Fine. The following 2 graphs show the operating income as well as the profitability of 6 companies. So you are given with profitability and operating income. So you from which you can calculate the operating profit. Okay. So from these 2 graphs you can find the operating profits. Now the operating profits of 4 of these companies are plotted against the respective operating income figures for the financial year 2002 and 2003 in the graph given below. So you are given with the operating profits for 4 of these 6 companies. You have 6 companies here. We are given with the data with respect to 4 companies. We do not know what are those 4, and they are given for the figures for financial year 2002 2003. So you have 2 financial years. Financial year 01 under 2001 2002 2002 2003. You are given with the operating income figures for financial year 2002 2003. Okay, you are given with 4 among these 6 companies. Okay, so if you are comfortable with data interpretation, if you have practiced enough number of questions from data interpretation, this is definitely a doable set. 3 simple questions. Okay, so if you are not well versed, or if you do not understand this question, then after attempting second and third sets, you can attempt first set. So if you are comfortable with data interpretation, second, third, followed by fourth should be your attempts. Okay. Now moving ahead to the next set. So in this, a poultry farm owner keeps the chickens for exactly 2 months before selling, month 1 and month 2. At the beginning of the month 1, he divided all the chickens into 5 categories: C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. It is known that in each of these 5 categories, the number of hens exceeded the roosters by at least 30%. Okay, so if I consider the total number of hens as 100x, we are given with the percentage distribution of the hens in these 5 categories. Okay, so C1 22%. So 22x hens were categorized in C1 category, 23x C2, 20x C3, 18x C4, and 17x C5. Okay, so among these 5 categories, each category has some number of hens and some number of roosters. Okay, and we are given that number of hens are greater than number of roosters by 30%. So what's the meaning of this statement? So if the number of roosters are R, the number of hens will be greater than 1.3 R. Okay, so this is the analysis from the given data with respect to month 1. Now at the beginning of month 2, he further divided each of these 5 categories into 2 categories. Okay, so C1, so he has split this C1 into 2 categories with all one with all the roosters in one category and hens in the second category, such that there were 10 categories in all. So you have a total of 10 categories in the month 2, because each of these categories, these 5 categories were split into 2 parts or 2 categories. One with total number with the hens in one category and the roosters in the second category. Okay, and we are given with the number of chickens in these 10 categories. So if you sum up, the total number of chickens are 500. Okay, so the initial number of chickens before the first month will be equal to the final number of chickens after second month. So I can say that 100x is equal to 500. Now we have the total number of hens. We can calculate the total number of chickens in C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 in the first month. So here the value of x is equal to 5. So substituting x is equal to 5 here, I can say that in the first month, a total of 110 chickens were categorized as C1. Okay, in the second month, this was split into 2 parts. Okay, one having hens completely, and the other category of roosters. Okay, now if you observe, the number of hens in which this 110 chickens were split into can be either 60 and this is 50, or this can be either, do we have 80 and 30? 80 and 30. Okay, so you will be having different possibilities, and we are given that the number of hens are greater than roosters by 30%. So if you list down all the possibilities and eliminate some based on this condition, I can say that we can determine like C1 is categorized, how many hens and how many roosters were categorized as C1, C2, C3, C4, and C5 in month 1. Okay, so that is my understanding of reading this question. So I know what to do. Okay, but this requires more effort when you compare this question with set 2, 3, and 4. So I will be attempting 2, 3, and 4 first. Now, if I have to pick one question out of the first question and this question, then I consider both of them to be of same level. So I will be picking any of these two. But if I have to pick, I will be picking question number 1. Than this. Clear? Now moving to the last set of the exam. Okay, so I consider this set to be a time-taking one. Okay, and if you are left with, let us say, 5 minutes after attempting 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, you have one easy question in this set, which is question number 22. Okay, so after reading this set, if you understand the data that was given in this set, you can attempt question 22 for sure. So apart from 22, I consider, and if you still have enough time, you can attempt 21. But 19 and 20, I consider them to be on a difficult side. Clear? So this is my analysis on the entire paper. Okay, so I have categorized these into these as per the level of difficulties. So the first graph the tabular one, which is an indirect question from puzzles, is on a easy to moderate side. Okay, so these two sets are easy. Okay, if you're comfortable with data interpretation, this will be an easy set. If not, it will be on a easy to moderate level. And fifth question is a moderate level set. And sixth question is slightly between moderate and to moderate to difficult. Okay, so I expect students to do these 7 questions for sure. So 7 questions, 21 marks should be your attempt. 21 marks. If you're good at arrangements, you should get these 21 marks. And if you are good at data interpretation, plus 9, so 30 marks. And if you're not good at data interpretation, if you can solve any of these two, then plus 1 more. Okay, so 33 marks. So 21 marks should be a minimum attempt. You should score minimum of 21 marks for sure. Okay, if you're good in data interpretation, you will get 30 marks. Or if you're good with puzzles and numbers, then 33 marks. Yes. Now coming to the questions. Now let's solve one by one. Now coming to this question, the second set. So I will be attempting this set first because we have 4 questions compared to the next set, which only has 3 questions. Okay. Now in a baseball game, there are 5 couples. So you have 10 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now A, B, C, D, E are 5 men. So they will be occupying odd number seats. So you will be having men sitting in these 5 places and women sitting in the remaining 5. And this person date will be sitting to the immediate right of that man. Okay. Now D is I's date. So you have 5 men A, B, C, D, E, and F, G, H. F, G, H, I, J, and we are given that D is I state. Okay. So I will be sitting to the immediate right of D, and it is given that I is not at the right end, so I cannot be here. And the man she is not and the man she is dating is not at the left end of the row, so D cannot be here, so I cannot be here. Okay, so I can be in 1, 2, 3, any of these 3 places. Now C is second from the right end of the row. So C will be here. The man dating J likes G best among the other women and insists on being seated to the immediate right of G. So if you have G here, you will be having man dating J and J will be sitting to his immediate right. Okay. Now B and his date occupy the middle pair of seats. So these two are the middle pair of seats. So B and his date will be occupying the middle pair of seats. So B will be here and we do not know who is B's date. And we are given that I sits left to B. Okay. So I should be sitting in any of these 2 positions and any of these 2 positions. We know I cannot sit here. So I is sitting here and I is D's date. So D will be sitting here. Okay. So this is what I can say from the given information. And okay, and we have not placed G and J. Okay, so one possibility is G here and J here. Other possibility G here, J here. Now let's see. You have 2 possibilities. D, I, B, C. Now G cannot be here because J is not here. G cannot be here. Now can we have G here? Yes. If G is here, J will be here, and if G is here, J will be here. So these are the 2 possible arrangements that we have got. based on the given statements. Now, if I look at question number 1, which of the following is a possible for 5 persons sitting adjacent to one another from left to right? Okay, HIDBG. Now, HIDBG, that cannot be. DIBGJ. Now, DIBGJ cannot be, because there should be a man sitting between G and J. Now, BIAJC. Okay, because I should be to the left of B. This cannot be. Now, DIBG and either E or A. Now, DIBG, you can have either E here or A here. So this is a possibility. So the answer for this question should be option 4. Now, G's date may be. G's date may be either you can have A or E here. So it can be A or E. And if G is here, it can be C as well. So the answer for this question should be C or E or A. Okay. And using the same logic, same arrangements, you can solve question 7 and question 8 also. Okay, so this can be solved in less than 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes, you should have or 5 questions considering 5 minutes for paper analysis. So in 15 minutes, you have 12 marks with you. Now moving to the next set. So A, B, C, D, and E are 5 students in a class. They are ranked on the order of their performance in sports, from the best sportsman to the worst, and in the order of their marks. Okay. No 2 students can get the same rank in any of these 2 parameters. Now, B plays better than E, but does not score as much as A and C. So B plays better than E, but does not score as much as A and C. So both A and C scored more marks than B. Whereas D is the best scorer. So D scored more than A, C, who scored more than B, and D scored more than E also. Okay, so D is the best scorer of all, but plays poorer than A. So A plays better than D. Now, while C plays poorer than D, but better than B, okay, C plays better than B. So we have the order of these 5 students as per the performance. So I can say that A is the best player, D, C, B, and E. This is the order of those 5 students ranked in the decreasing order of their performance. Okay, when C plays poorer than D but better than B, C is not as good scorer as A. Okay, so A scored more than C. So A scored more than C, who scored more than B, and D scored more than A, C, and B, and D scored more than E. Now, no 2 students get the same rank in both the parameters. So here you have the distinct ranks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so E cannot be here. I can say that E cannot be here. So the order can be D, E, A, C, B, or D, then A, E, C, B, or D, A, C, E, B. But if you observe this, C cannot be here because already C is at the 3rd rank. Clear? Now let's look at the questions. Now, when the person who performed best in sports, okay, A, is the 2nd best scorer. So he's talking about this case. Then what rank out of 1, 2, and 3 in the marks scored can be held by the worst performer in sports? So worst performer is E. So E will be getting 3rd rank. Okay, how many students definitely play poorer than B? Okay, it will be 1. And if C is fourth in the order of the scores, okay, then the second best scorer who isn't a good player is, second best scorer can be either E or A, who is not a best player. So the answer for this question should be E. So you can also solve this question in less than 8 minutes, let us say. So 15 plus 8. So after 23 minutes, you need to have 21 marks. So you still have 20 more minutes. And if you could manage to solve at least one more set, then I consider that to be a good attempt. Okay. Now let's look at question number 1. Sorry, we have one data interpretation question. Right. Now, which company recorded the highest profit in financial year 2 and 3? Which company recorded the highest operating profit in financial year 2002 and 2003? Now we are given that profitability is equal to operating profit by operating income. Now you have operating profits for A, C, E, and F. Now A for the year 2002 and 2003, 7.5. So 7.5 is equal to operating profit. We need to find the operating profit by operating income. What is the A's operating income in the year 2002 2003? It's 190. Okay, 7.5. This was expressed in percentage, so the fraction would be 7.5 by 100. So which implies operating profit for A is 14.25, and this was mentioned in, okay, crores or lakhs or any. So operating profit for company A in the year financial year 2000 to 2003 will be 14.25. Now in the similar fashion, you can find the operating profit of company C. Company, this is 15%, 15 by 100 is equal to operating profitability. 15 by 100 is equal to what is C's operating income? 200, which implies this is 30. Now operating profit for E, this is 17.5. 17.5 by 100 is equal to operating profit by operating income. This is E's kada. So E's operating income is 200. So operating profit is 35. And similarly, you can find the operating profit for F, which will be 19 point something. Definitely less than 35. So the answer for this question should be option. Simple question, isn't it? Okay. Now moving ahead, what is the approximate average operating profit in the financial year 2001 and 2002? Okay, so we have in the previous question we are asked to find the operating profit for the year 2002 and 2003. Okay, here operating profit in the financial year 2001 and 2002 of the two companies excluded from the third graph. So this is the third graph. So you have, we are given with the data with respect to 4 companies. What are the 2 companies that were missed? I can say that they are B and D. Because B's operating profit is, let us consider this to be 2%. 2% of what? 2% of 225. So it should be 5. Operating profit should be 5, isn't it? So you do not have a dot which is near to operating profit as 5. So company B was missed. Now company D, let us consider 1%. 1% of what? 1% of, let us say, 300. So you do not have any dot at 3 on y-axis. Okay, so B and D are the companies that were not mentioned in the third graph. So in the similar fashion, as we solve for the 12th question, they are asked to find the average operating profit. So you need to find, so B and D have losses. So you will be having loss for sure. Okay. So you need to find the operating loss of B and D in the financial year 1 and 2, and you need to find the average. Okay, so this comes to be around 7.6 crores. Now, coming to the 14th question. The average profit in the financial year 2000 to 2003 of the companies with profitability exceeding 10%. Profitability exceeding 10%. You have C, you have E. Okay, so the profitability of these two companies exceeded 10% in the financial year 2000 to 2003. So what was asked? Average operating profit, isn't it? So we have found that company C's operating profit was 30 and company F's was 35. Okay, so 30 plus 35, 65, 65 by 2. So 32.5 crores should be the answer. Okay, see if you are comfortable with data interpretation, you can solve this question in less than 6 minutes, guys. 6 minutes or 8 minutes. Okay, so 3 more questions. So 7 plus 3, 10, 10 into 3, 30 marks. 30 marks. You can get 30 marks in this exam for sure. If you have practiced good number of questions from arrangements and good number of questions from data interpretation, there is nothing more in this set. Clear? So if you are not comfortable with this set, now let's get back to set 1. Okay. Now we have one vehicle entering at 9 o'clock. Service time started at 9. The time taken is 3 minutes. So service end time for this will be 9:03. The service for this, the end time of the service will be 9:11. Now you have one garage free at 9:05, isn't it? So this could be either A or B. Now if the time taken is 3 minutes, then B, the service end time would be 9:03. 1 minute. So if this is 3 minutes, we do not know what type of service that was offered to vehicle 1, vehicle 2. Okay, so B will be free at 9:03, and if this takes 6 minutes, B will be free by 9:06. Okay, so if this is 3 minutes here, then both A and B will be free here. So this vehicle might have been allotted to either A or B, isn't it? But C is not free till 9:11. Okay, now from 9:05, okay, if this was allotted to either A or B, so the minimum time is this time taken would be either 3, 6 or 11. Okay, so this garage, if this garage is A, this will be busy till 9:08. If this is 6 minutes, then 9:11, and if this is 11 minutes, then 9:26. Sorry, 9:16. My bad. Okay. Now at 9:07, you have one more vehicle being allotted to one of the garages. So if I consider this garage, this vehicle is allotted to garage A. Garage A is not free at 9:07, and garage C is also not free at 9:11. Or sorry, 9:07. The garage C was busy till 9:11. Okay, so this could not be allotted to A nor C. So this would have been allotted to B. Then when fourth vehicle was allotted to garage A. Now if the fourth vehicle is allotted to garage B, then this vehicle would have been allotted to garage A. And this took 6 minutes. So 9:07 to 6, 9:30. So either garage A or garage B is free, sorry, or is busy till 9:30. Okay. Now we have one more vehicle entering at 9:10, and the service starting time is 9:10. So at 9:10, one of the vehicle is free. Sorry, one of the garage is free. So it cannot be this. Okay, and it cannot be. Okay, so I can say that this garage in which for which the fourth number vehicle is allotted was free at 9:10. So this tells me that these are not possible. Okay, so the type of service that was offered to the vehicle number 4 will be the service which takes 3 minutes, so that this vehicle will be free at 9:08, and sorry, this garage will be free by 9:08, and this vehicle would have been allotted the same garage. So if the vehicle fourth vehicle is entering garage A here, this vehicle will also enter garage A. Clear? Now if I consider this time as the service time as 3 minutes, the service time could be either 3 or 6 or 11. If this is 3, this will be free by 9:13. Okay, so if this is 6 minutes, this will be free by 9:16, and if this is 11 minutes, 9:21. We do not know what type of service was offered to the vehicle number 6. Okay, now coming to 9:11, seventh vehicle. Okay, so this entered at 9:11 and the service start time was 9:11. So at 9:11, one of the garage is free. So this could not be either, this can be either A or B. Okay, so A is busy till 9:13 and B is also busy till 9:13. So this should be C. So 9:11 plus 6 minutes. So C is busy till 9:17. Now B is free at 9:13. So either this could be B or this could also be B. But B is busy till 9:30, isn't it? He is busy till 9:13. No, now if you see, if you can observe that no garage is free between 9:12 to 9:30. So B is free by 9:30. Now no garage should be free between 9:16 to 9:17. So if I consider that this took 3 minutes, so this was free at 9:16. So if this garage is free by 9:16, so the service start time should be 9:16 here. So I can say that this was either 6 minutes or 11 minutes. Okay, so B would be busy till 9:19 or 11, 9:20. Okay, now coming to this. So this no garage is free between 9:16 and 9:17, isn't it? Clear? And no garage is free between 9:17 to 9:19. Clear? Now at 9:17, which garage is free? So this cannot be the case. So if this garage is free at 9:16, okay. Now the service start time for vehicle number 9 should also be 9:16, which is not the case. So this is not 9:16 or 9:13. So this should be 9:21. And the garage here took 11 minutes to complete the service. So this should be 9:21. So if this is 9:21, you cannot have B being starting service at 9:13. So this is not B. This is A. If this is A, this will be B. And if this is B, this will be A. Okay, so A is busy till 9:21. B is busy till 9:19 or 9:24. So this vehicle was allotted to garage C, which took either 3 minutes or 6 minutes or 11 minutes. If this is 3 minutes, then 9:20. The end time will be 9:20 or 9:23 or 9:28. Okay, and one garage should be free by 9:19. So A is not free till 9:21, C is not free till 9:20, isn't it? So B is free by 9:19, so this vehicle was allotted to B at 9:19 at 9:19, and the service offered can be for either 3 minutes or 6 minutes or 11 minutes, and this completes the set. A good question, but if you're good at puzzles, then this is a doable question. So after completing those 3 questions, you can either solve this question or the roasters, the chickens one. Okay, so the ideal time to solve this question would be around 12 to 15 minutes. Clear? Now, coming to the roosters, the chickens question. So now we know that the total number of chicken 500. Now 22x. So 22% of 500 is 110. Out of this 500, 110 were categorized as C1, 23, 115 as C2, then 20, 100 as C3, C4, 18 as C4, C5, sorry, 18% of 500, sorry, 90, and 17%, 17 into 5, 85. And C1, so you have 20 chickens in C1, 85 C2, 40 C3, 25 C4, 75 C5, 20 C6, 50 chickens C6, 30 chickens C7, 35 C8, 80 C9, and 60 C10. Now let me consider that. Okay, so 110, if I consider that C1 was distributed into C1 plus some other category, so 110 should be equal to 20 plus something. So this something will be either 90, or if I consider 115, C2 was categorized into C1 plus something, then 115 minus 20, 95. Then if I consider this as 100 is equal to 20 plus something, so this will be 80. So 90, 70, and this is 65. Now, do we have 90 chickens in any of these 10, the remaining 9 categories? No. So this is not possible. You do not have 95 here. 80, yes. 70, no. And 65, no. So from here, all I can say is 80 chickens plus 20 is equal to 100. So these C3 were distributed to be C1 and C9. So this 100 is equal to 20 plus 80, where here 80 are the hens and 20 are the roosters. So we are done with this. We are done with this. C1 and C9 were categorized from C3 after first. Clear? Now if I consider 8 coming to category 2 after second month, so you have 85 chickens or 85 hens. I can say this as a number of hens. So if there are 85 hens, the remaining hens can be 85. 110 minus 85, 25. 115 minus 85, 30, 100 cannot be, because C3 were already distributed into C1 and C9. If this is 95 and if this is 85, then 0. These two are not possible. Now, do we have 25? Yes. 20? Yes. Okay. So C1 could be either C2. C1 is categorized into C2 and C4, or C2 is categorized into C2 plus C7. Two possibilities. Here 85 hens and 30 roosters will give us 115 chicken, or 85 plus 25, 85 hens plus 25 roosters will give you 110 chicken. Clear? Now if I consider C3 as 40, so this would be 70, then this would be 75, then 40, this would be 50, and this would be 45. Now you do not have 45 here, it could be, you do not have 70 here, so this could be either 75 or 50. So 40 roosters, because we are given that number of hen are greater than number of roosters. Okay, and 50 hen or 40 roosters and 75 hen. Now what is 1.3 into 40? 52. Because the number of hen should be greater than 1.3 into number of roosters. So this is not possible. Okay, so I can say that these 115, this C2 is categorized as C3 plus C5. So these 115 chicken were categorized into 40 roosters and 75 hen. Now, if C2 is categorized into C3 and C5, C2 cannot be categorized into C2 and C7, isn't it? So C1, these 110 chicken were categorized into C2. C2 is 85 plus C4. C4 is 25. Okay, so C1 done, C2 and C4, then C3 and C5, and C7. Sorry, C3 and C5, that's it. Now we are left with C6, C7, C8, and C10. Now you need to form 90 and 85. So how can you form 85? 50 plus 35. Ante these C5 are nothing but C6 plus C8, and these 90, 60 plus 30. C7, 30 plus C10, 60. And this completes this. Okay, so category 1 after first month were further divided into categories 1 and 9 in the second month. Okay, so category 3 and 100 chicken in first month, C3 were categorized into C1 and C9 in the second month. Now these 110 chicken in category 1 after in the first month are categorized into C1 and C9 in the second month. Now these 23% under 115 chicken were categorized into C2 and C4 in the second month. 18x, these 90 chicken were categorized into C7 and C10 in the second month, and these 85 chicken were categorized into C6 and C8 in the second. And this completes the set. Okay, so after solving the first, the second, third, and fourth sets, either you can pick this set or the first set. Okay, now coming to this question. So we are given with the bullion prices and exchange rates in the year 2010 for all these 12 months as on 1st Jan, 1st Feb, 1st March till 1st December. We are given with the gold prices for 10 grams, silver prices for 10 grams, US bonds rates, euros, EU bonds rates, UK bonds, and Japanese bonds rates. And we are also given with the interest rates on US, EU, UK, and Japanese bonds respectively. Okay, now if I look at the 19th question, Mr. Sanyal invested his entire fund in gold, US bonds, and EU bonds in January 2010. So he has invested in the month of January, Jan 1st, let us say. So total 8 lakhs. So let me categorize them as X, Y, and Z. So X plus Y plus Z will be equal to 8 lakhs. Now he liquefied his assets on 31st August. Okay, so for that, what was the interest or profit, what was his gain by investing X rupees in gold? So if I am depositing 20,000 Now I'm getting 20,720 after 8 months. So the rate of interest is 720 by 20,000 into 100. So which is 3.6% or 0. 1 minute. So is it 3.6 or 0.36? .6%. Okay. In the same way, if he has invested Y rupees on January 1st, 40 has become 45, isn't it? 5 by 40, 40 into 100. So this is nothing but 50 by 4, 12.5% return. Okay, and EU bonds 60 has become 63. So 5% returns. Okay, so the returns on gold bonds on gold is 3.6%, on US bonds is 12.5%, and on EU bonds is 5%. Now you are also given interest rates on US and EU also. So in addition to these 12.5 returns, he will be paid 10% interest for 8 months, and 10% by 12 into 8. Now 5 by 12 into 8. So you also need to consider this. So you will be getting and one more equation. Okay, some value into x plus this value into y plus this value into z will be equal to 8 into what was the gain, 1.13. And again, if we had held his assets for an additional month, so now you need to consider the return by investing them on gold, US dollars and EU dollars for 9 months. Okay, then you will get one return. You will get three equations. You can solve for the values of x, y, and z, which I consider this to be time taking, very time taking question. Now coming to 20th question. At the beginning of every month, by sheer luck, Mr. Sanyal managed to correctly guess the asset that gave maximum return. So you need to calculate the returns for each month for all these 5. Okay. So for example, in Jan 1st to February 1st. Okay. Which one has given him more returns? I think gold. So if he has invested his total amount in gold. Now in February to March, if the maximum returns were given by US dollars, not US, okay, let us say silver. He has invested. Now he will be investing. He will be liquefying all the amount that he has put in the month of January, and he will be transferring that to silver, isn't it? So you need to find the asset that will be giving maximum return for all these 12 months. Okay, which is a difficult task to do. So I want you guys to skip this question directly. Okay. Now, so for 1 month, he has given you are given that invested 50% of the amount in US bonds. So 4 lakhs in US bonds and 4 lakhs in Euro bonds. Now 40 rupees per dollar. So you can calculate the number of dollars bought, or let me consider this as dollars and this as euros. So 60 rupees per euro. So let us consider that he has bought M euros. Okay. So the rate in the month of December would be 50 into N plus 65 into M, plus you will be getting an interest, isn't it? 20% on US dollar and sorry, 10% on US dollar and 20% on EU dollar. Okay. So you need to calculate the total value, and then you need to determine the resultant gain percentage if he had liquidated his assets on 31st December. Okay. This question is also a time taking question. Now, if you have any simplest question in this set, it is question number 22. Had Mr. Sanyal invested the entire amount in silver bullion on 1st January, so if he has invested all 8 lakhs in silver, okay, so by 300 will, okay, will give us the 10 grams 300, so 1 gram is 30 rupees, let us say, will give us the number of grams that he has bought. Okay, and he has liquidated his assets on 31st December. So into 35 rupees per gram. So 8 lakhs into 35 by 30. So 9.33 lakhs, and this should be the answer. So if there is any easy question in this set, it is this. And this completes mock form. Okay, so ideally, I can say that everyone should be in a position to get 21 marks. If you have practiced enough number of data interpretation questions plus 9, so 30 marks minimum. And if you are good at puzzles, then 33 marks. But 21 marks should be minimum score for all the students. Clear? So if you have any difficulty in understanding any of these 6 questions, just you can get back to me. Okay, so we'll discuss, and I'll try my best to clear your doubts. Okay, so thank you guys.